Okay, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. Okay, and just check how you're doing. So this is your time. So just carve out this space for yourself. Just check in, settle in. You know, we're moving. It's kind of apparent here in California. I don't know how it's feeling in other parts of the country. Maybe not so much notice in Arizona, perhaps a little bit more in Canada, I would imagine, and then on a little bit more towards the east. Australia, we don't seem to have really transitional seasons, but we are moving into colder weather and shorter days. And the last week, it's become quite apparent here. The trees are starting to change color. So we are moving into transitional time, and it does affect the mind and the body. So just allow that for yourself. Give yourself space for the change of season. We've just come off a full moon. So don't think for a second all these things don't affect us. They do. So just be kind to yourself around these times of change and transition. So feet flat on the floor, sits bones, just feel the weight in your sits bones. Try and be on top of them. Shoulders are aligned with the hips, and just imagine your spine as a string of pearls of light, and you're stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. Notice if there are any sounds in your environment. The crickets are really loud this evening. I don't know if that means there's rain coming. But unfortunately, it's too cold to have the door open, so we can't hear them, but they are pretty loud tonight. And then just notice what's arising in the mind and just allow it. Try not to judge or criticize or have opinions about what's going on in your mind. Just be happy to see what's there. Maybe if it's all a bit of a jumble, you can just start to categorize what you're thinking. It sort of helps to put some space in between those thoughts, those words, that kind of running commentary. And then we just put ourselves on the bank of our river, watch it flow on by. And just remember that while you're sitting on the bank, you're free from the water. So bring to mind some people of your life. These are the ones you love, our near and dear friends, our spouses, our children, best friends. And then there's those people in your life who you don't like so much. And then there's our strangers. And due to this impermanent nature of this world we live in, this samsaric world we're in, things change. Relationships ebb and flow, shift and change. And the relationships we think are permanent can change. And then remember, all these people, not just the ones we love, have this extraordinary capacity for an enlightened mind, and they all want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. So like Stephanie's snake thought it was in danger when it got woken up from its sleep. So it was in full flight. Its autonomic nervous system was ready to attack because it was threatened. Imagine living a life like that. because of the ignorance of the mind of that snake, he couldn't really see the reality of the situation. Just two people out for a walk. No harm intended. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life and for all the snakes out there that seems to be a lot of snakes being seen around this area as well right now. So as the seasons are changing, it's getting colder in the morning and in the evening, so they're coming out to sort of lie around in the sun. So think of all those snakes, terrified and terrifying, and then think of our dear him, who's been through so much over the last couple of decades. So there is no negativity that cannot be purified, and this purification process is psychological. So we create negativity with our minds, so equally we can create positivity instead. And we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, in all of past lives. The reason we're regretting is based on this logic of karma, because we experience everything due to our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will experience suffering in the future. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I don't want any future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret our delusions, anger, bitterness, grudges, the rest. These are the cause of why we harm others. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come, this little section on refuge. We turn to Vajrasattva, the Buddha, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And we're not asking Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine this Buddha made of light, something similar to what you see there, blissful white light upon the crown of your head, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. He has a beautiful, radiant face. He's looking at you and all these people of your life exactly the same way. However you're turning up, it's fine. Compassion, kindness, no judgment. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right, the left holding a bell representing wisdom, the right holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents enlightenment. The Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. And by this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have a little bit on compassion. It also is about reliance. We're relying upon other beings in order to develop compassion, those we have harmed and those who have harmed us. So just bring those two groups of people to mind and develop a wish in your heart for them to be free from suffering. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and we start with the body. And imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your body, it enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and it pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajrama mimutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sutta me sutam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about other people behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you, and just all our inappropriate speech, making jokes at other people's expense. Just imagine all of this completely purified. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum te. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And the next is the purification of the mind. And imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra. This arcs around, enters your crown, and fills your entire being. So you're just filled with this bright light, just like when you walk into a room, it's dark, you flick on that switch, and it just instantly dispels the darkness. Same here. You're just filled with this light. Your whole body is filled with light, and it dispels all the darkness of the negativity of your mind. Attachment, depression, neediness, bitterness, grudges, jealousy. I know it's easier said than done, but just try and imagine it's happening. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, gone. And now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from the mind. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anurakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahom pe. So now feel you are completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So now the power of resolve and this very important step in the purification process, which is a decision to try and refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So rejoice in your effort, rejoice in turning up here night after night, particularly in people whose time zones telling them it's time to go to bed. And for anyone, because everyone's busy. So you took this time out for yourself, so really rejoice. And then think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow, something you have been working on. Maybe it's your speech, maybe whatever is harmful to yourself and others. And then Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and dissolves into you through your crown. And think my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on the emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So whatever level you understand emptiness, whether it's even just the word you understand, or maybe you've had some teachings on it, just place your mind there for a while. And we think of all phenomena as being empty, just a bunch of dependent arisings. Things don't exist in and of themselves. So you can also imagine the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they exist. Like that snake today. All it saw today was danger. But that was not the case. The snake was not in danger. So we think like this all the time. We think incorrectly all the time. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And so if you have His Holiness Dalai Lama as one of your teachers, make a strong wish for him to live long and to be able to continue to teach. And then for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and then for any of your own personal teachers, whether they be your Buddhist teachers, whether they be your, your yoga teachers, your art teacher, your kindergarten teacher. Think of all the people that have helped you. It's the person who taught you the alphabet, the person who taught you to tie your shoes. They all helped us in our life. So make a strong wish for them to all live long. And thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow morning. And if anyone knows how Bill is, haven't seen him for a couple of days. So
He's out of the country, so he's doing good.
oh, good. Okay. Excellent. When's he coming back?
I think he was gone for a month. Is that correct?
Oh, okay.
A while. Yeah.
Okay. All righty. Thanks for letting me know, you guys. All right. Good night. Sleep well. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Good night.
Lots of
Thank
love,
you so much,
everybody.
Katie.
Good
Thank
night.
you.